God of High School Episode 1. The preliminaries begin, a new villain appears, and a giant handprint destroys an island. Well, forget about the handprint thing for now. We'll cover that in the latter parts of this video. This episode is the premiere of the widely proclaimed God of High School. I, along with many others, have been looking forward to this series for years. The episode was titled Set Up, Stand Up, which is a perfect title encapsulating this episode. Now, skipping the handprint scene, the episode starts out with a flashback of the protagonist of the show, Jin Mori. The flashback shows his grandfather sending him to live by himself to start school and make new friends. The scene of him living by himself throughout adolescence is really giving me some Naruto vibes. I could feel the sadness that Mori felt and the isolation from his peers while watching this episode. Anyway, back to present time. Mori wakes up seeing his destroyed alarm clock next to him. He realizes that he broke it while sleeping and he's super late. He jumps on his bike and starts pedaling as fast as he can. At this point in the episode, we switch to a new character, Han Daiwi. He's leaving his job at the supermarket to head to the God of High School tournament. We also see him counting money, which gets more important later in the series. After this, we switch characters yet again. This time it's to Yumira. On her way to the tournament, she gets lost, but she sees some muscly martial artists and asks them for directions. These three characters' stories seem separate for now, but they all intertwine very quickly. Now we cut back to Mori. While Mori is still scrambling to get to the arena, he sees a purse thief. When he first sees the purse thief, he really thinks nothing of it. Then a couple seconds later, he sees an old lady screaming. At this moment, he realized that the purse thief stole the purse from the old lady, and after seeing her, he thinks of how tough her life is and imagines her desperately needing the money, so he decides to chase down the thief. While chasing down the thief, the first connection is set in place, as he accidentally crashes into Yumira. Mira is very angry at first and starts beating Mori with her sword. Then Mori explains the situation to her and she decides to help him get the sword thief. So Mori and Mira ended up chasing down the thief for a couple minutes. Eventually they get to a point where Mira thinks she's going to be able to catch the thief. So she jumps off the bike high into the air, charges up an attack, and is ready to cut down the thief, and then she hits a road sign. She gets her face imprinted fully into the road sign, falls to the ground, but it's not a big deal for her. Her and Mori get up and start to walk towards the thief, only to see Han Daiwi come out of nowhere and knock out the thief with one punch. The three then travel to the tournament and exchange names. When they arrive to the tournament, all of the contestants are in a sort of locker room, and then they're all told to go onto the stage. The contestants all receive bands that show their power level, health points, and GP. Then, surprising all of the contestants, the announcer just tells them to fight. The rest of the episode from here is pure action. There were a few characters highlighted, but the rest were just fodder. When everything seems like it's wrapping up, Judge P brings in a high schooler from a detention center, who immediately starts destroying most of the contestants in a really brutal manner, even stomping off their heads. Seeing this brutality, Mira decides to stand up and picks a fight with him, but she's easily outmatched. He deflects her attacks and takes her sword. While he starts to taunt Mira, Mori gets the sword back and pulls the delinquent's pants down. After this, Mori gets kicked very hard through a wall, but at the same time as the foot came in contact with his stomach, he elbows at the ankle and bruises the delinquent's ankle at the same moment he got kicked. After this, the two relatively start respecting each other's strength at least a little bit, and then they both run at each other, jump up, and are about to clash kicks. Then the episode ends. Yeah, I know, it's a cliffhanger, and I didn't want to see it end like this either. But now back to the handprint stuff from the start of the episode. So the episode opened with a local businessman just chilling on the beach, minding his own business. And then he gets a call on the phone from Park Mujin. The businessman thought that the idea of Mujin hosting this God of High School tournament was crazy, and he was gonna try to do everything in his power to get it cancelled. Mujin was not pleased with this whatsoever, so he uses his special power to manifest a giant hand above the island and destroy it. Yeah, it's as crazy as it sounds, but we're only gonna see the powers escalate from here. And that's it for the first episode of God of High School. I really enjoyed it and I'm excited to see what happens next. Don't forget to leave video suggestions in the comments and like and subscribe to keep up with me.